There are all these people in offices in San Francisco. They're taking VC money and they're talking about, we're going to teach you how to speak this language. How are you going to teach a language when you're sipping a fucking latte in San Francisco? Where are these people? They're not here on the ground. They're not actually learning what you need to do when you actually come out here. And they say, oh, we teach 15 languages. It's like, we're starting on the ones that Victor and I actually learn.
Exactly.
That's my whole fucking rant. I don't know how else to go about this other than like, man, I get so angry about this whole damn thing. They're all like Americans and Europeaners being like, oh, we'll teach you Korean, we'll teach you Chinese. Like, you have to be in China to do that. You have to be in Korea. You have to know what you actually need to say to people, how they interact, their mannerisms. Everyone on YouTube gets upset about the damn like you're yelling, you're doing this. Like, this is how you do stuff here. And these are some of the greatest people on the planet. Like, they're not to go.
Just think about it, like, would you use an app for weight loss? Oh, 谢谢. Would you use an app for weight loss that was built, if the app was built by the overweight person? Just think about it, like some fat guy in San Fran, just like has no idea about how to lose weight and exercise, but he created an app to lose weight. Why would you use his app? The same idea for foreign languages. I'm like, why are you guys using this like apps that they're created by people that nobody knows about? Nobody knows what, like, they don't speak the language that we speak, guys. Like, it's like, and I'm not trying to tell you like, hey, like, we're cheating on other apps, and so that's why our app is better. We're not trying to build on that. You know that we don't have this as our marketing like repetitive message, right? But what we want to tell you is that this is actually true. Those people have no idea about how to learn foreign languages. They have no achievements to actually show.
Maybe we redo that a little bit better. Because all I want...
Dave was disappointed with my pitch.
No, I'm disappointed with mine. All I want to fundamentally say is like... Because it sounds too hatery, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like all I want to say fundamentally is like... You know, like... They're in an air-conditioned office in San Francisco, sipping lattes, playing ping pong with the team, and we're in the jungle. Everything that goes into the app comes into out of stuff that is on our personal experience important. That's our advantage, and that's the advantage that we're putting into this product. I think this is how you're supposed to do business. This is what you're supposed to do. You want to teach people how to lose weight? You want to build an app for that? You got to first lose weight. You got to see what the challenges are. I can't stand it. These people, like, they have way more money than us from investors pouring into them, and they're just going to go out and build some products and get everyone convinced, like, this is what you're supposed to do with these, like, stupid-ass TikTok memes when they're like, why is Chinese so hard? It's like everyone is doing that. There's like 500,000 videos of people going, why is it's just a copycat thing. Like everything goes into the app. We were using it today in this 2-hour conversation we had with at this in this massage shop. Where these two guys, they were telling us about, we're learning words, we're like writing down things, like throwing them into the vocab in the moment, translating for like, oh, how do you say this? Wait, what did they just say here? It was like, and all of that is going to be reflected in next week's update. Like, you'll see next week, oh, wow, the app became better because we threw in all this stuff that was important. I don't know if this is just like a rant, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just in a full rant mode, but I just can't stand it when it's like, you have to be in China sweating your ass off, talking to people, actually putting this into practice, to say that you can actually teach languages. Don't tell us how to teach languages like, oh, this is how you build a language app. How are you supposed to build a language app from an office, from an air-conditioned office? This is a great place, man. Let me say one thing. If you could include this would be great. Dongbei people in the northeast of China are some of the warmest, most friendly people you will ever meet in your whole life. Everyone is curious. When they see you, all they want to do is ask you stuff. They just want to get to know you. That kind of warmth and that kind of positive approach to strangers is something that you will find absent in large parts of the rest of the world. If you want to talk about how much the New Yorker attitude, when you're in New York and people, like you could be having a heart attack and people will just walk around you, they don't care. That stuff doesn't happen here. I think Dongbei people are some of the best people on the planet in terms of how warm they are to strangers and how comfortable we feel here, especially when you learn their language. Because it just shows, you don't even have to speak it well, but it just shows a respect. I think they appreciate it the most.
Yo, guys, so one thing I want to tell you. So since we are here on the ground, right, we're talking to people, we're shooting the video, and we're actually learning by basically ourselves. One of the things is that you don't just learn the language. Oftentimes, you also learn slang, expressions, and dialect when it comes to Chinese language specifically. So specifically for the Chinese language, we're actually building some dialect cheat sheets or dialect-related lessons, specifically related to the most popular dialect, one of the most, or the most actually, which is Dongbei dialect. And Dongbei dialect is, it's representative of the whole Chinese culture and of Dongbei culture, of Beijing as a capital of China. So Dongbei dialect is very close to standard Mandarin, and it's very easy to learn. But if you say just one word or one phrase, people will just open their hearts. So that's the difference between our app and other apps. We are actually teaching stuff that impresses people. We're not just teaching something like, hey, how to order a latte using Spanish, you know? We're actually going deep into languages that we're presenting in the app. We're hiring teachers so that they review the languages and improve them. And we ourselves go through the lessons and make them better and better.
This stuff might just go into cold storage, and then like a year from now, you might like use it. So it might not be important now, okay? But 4 years ago, I found Victor on YouTube, and I booked a call with him, a coaching call.
This one, yeah, lower. Mm-hmm.
And he convinced me to start learning Chinese. And I called him because I was like, I'm drawn to this language because I feel that everyone around me in the U.S. completely misunderstands or misrepresents or has a complete warped understanding of what China is and what it does. And I just don't like being wrong about stuff. So I was like, you know what? Nobody knows anything. I got to learn the language myself. And Victor set me on that path. And then 2 years after that, I came out here in this place on Victor's advice after studying with him for 2 years, studying, grinding, doing all the inefficient stuff through the textbook. And I came here to kind of complete my masterpiece, you know, like reach that full immersion, that next level that I needed to lock in what I learned. It was incredibly challenging. And I walked this street and I lived around here. Wow. And it's crazy because now, 2 years after that, Victor and I are here. And it's just unbelievable, man. It's like surreal, you know?
Yeah.
And it's such a different place here. Like I was just in Korea a few days ago, and in Korea it's like I'm just a foreigner. I don't understand anything. I can read a little bit, but it's not my world, you know? But then I come here and like it feels different. It feels like going to the US. That's what learning the language, internalizing it, reaching a fluency with the listening and then the speaking kind of gets you to, is it becomes like a home. You can actually be like, oh wow, like I feel it's like it's not any different than the US. Like I can just I can integrate, you know? I think that's a really cool power up, and I honestly what surprised me the most about it is like I started learning 4 years ago. It's like 4 years. That means it's like, oh, every 4 years you can do this with another language, you know? I can start Korean today, 4 years from now, be at the same level with Korean. Probably even faster now that I have Victorai, that I have all these tools that I've built. And one thing I want to say for everyone is like, we primarily built Victorai for Victor and me. It's just like shit that we need to do every day because I still want to level up. He's learning 2 languages at the same time. He's learning his Japanese. He's constantly leveling up his Chinese still. And so it's like what he needs to learn, what I need to learn. That's what goes into the product. Then we add stuff for new people who are new to it as well. But like, primarily solves our problem and everyone else. And the community we're building, everything is like people just like us that actually care about learning something new, care about opening a new door, you know? Think about how crazy that is. Like 4 years ago, I could have decided, you know what, fuck it, I'm just not going to learn. This is too hard. And where would I be? I wouldn't be here. You and me wouldn't have this product. We wouldn't be traveling all, like, I can't even imagine my life without that. All the people I met, the experience I had, the people I connected with, like the new perspective I found on the world, all of it just came from because I booked a fucking call with you back when you had like 20K subscribers on YouTube. So Victor's a very special guy for me. I love working together with him, but I do look up to him because I wouldn't have done all of this stuff unless he showed me that it was possible. So when he did it, I thought, well, one man can do, another can do. So if he can do it, that means I can do it. And then I ended up doing it. So that's my rant. But thank you so much, man.
Can you share about also like your personal life? How did you change it? So for example, let's say, because this is really important, like people want to know like what are the actual benefits like that you experienced or I experienced, right? So for me,
yeah, you want to ask?
Yeah, I want to say, and then you add.
Yeah.
So I want to tell, like, I mentioned so many times, I became just free everywhere. I became free. Like once I learned a couple languages, just one language, I became free in terms of dating, in terms of business, in terms of work, in terms of where I want to live. You know, I can live. I know, like, I'm Russian, so when I stayed in Russia, I knew that if I leave Russia, if I go to Korea, China, I can speak their languages. You know. But what's really important for me, it's also like the ability to learn the language. You know, it's not just like speaking the language; it's also the framework, the mindset, the confidence that you have when you're like, okay, so let's say I'm not good enough. What does it take me to get better? You know, so you have this strong confidence to get better. This is also transferable to other areas of life. We will not talk about this now, but
why not? Let me talk about the number one thing.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Victor taught me how to do time tracking, which is this like obsessive practice of you do something that you're really bad at, that you feel you're making no progress at, but you record every single minute that you end up doing it. And in that process, I ended up taking that same thing and applying it to front-end programming, building websites. Then later it was like, oh, let me bring it to building mobile apps, iOS apps. And now that exact practice and that confidence, it's like, okay, I can actually I can actually learn this way, I can level up this way. It transferred to programming for me. Now I was a programmer, but I was a horrible programmer when it comes to building UI. I couldn't do any of that stuff. And now we have an entire app. I have 3,795 hours of programming and building this, building things since I started 3 years ago. That's what transferred from the confidence and the method of learning a language. Now, learning a language is the hardest thing ever because it's like I started from zero, from like not even know how to say tones, like mang, getting stuck on that, like ni mangma, ni mangma. So if I could do that and I'm already a programmer, I should be able to do the front end stuff. That like specific practice, that specific discipline was the life-changing piece for me. I don't talk about social stuff, like there's a million things that changed on this, but honestly just the fact of like getting up and doing something every single day. 终于到了，谢谢。
牛肉要啊，牛肉好，谢谢。So, shout out to my dad who started learning Chinese. I wanted to share, so I wanted to ask you to share about how your personal life changed. So basically, it's not just that you have a Chinese girlfriend, but it's also that how did you change as a person in terms of your personal life? So let's say before being able to speak Chinese versus after being able to speak Chinese. And how does the language help you to just expand yourself and be like, okay, so I can now choose, you know, in my life? Because dating is just one of the social activities, right? There is work, there is business, there are so many other things. But just this specific example.
For me, I met my girlfriend almost as a consequence of being able to speak the language. I think it was almost It's just because the opportunity to speak the language put me in a situation where I had the confidence and I had the language skill and I was in the right place at the right time. Well, I always thought it was like the most important part of learning language is being able to integrate with somebody's family. Because I'm Armenian and I know like whatever partner I end up being with or who I end up being with is like I wish they could speak Armenian because that language is my culture, it matters a lot to me. So I thought it's like if I could do the same thing in the reverse, it would be really appreciated. So whoever I ended up with, I probably would have mastered that language of being with them. You know, because I want to mirror. I want there to be no compromise. That's actually one important thing to understand is like when you date across cultures, you end up forcing your partner into a compromise. So like, oh, well, I can never speak with your parents or without a translating app. And honestly, a conversation through a translator app is not really a conversation. You're not speaking to them. You're just getting information across, and it'll always be like that. I don't care how amazing the AI become. You have AI glasses that translate what they say in person. It will never be the fucking. It's not an emotional connection because language almost predates. You know? So it's like I was like I want to be able to connect with the people that matter to me and the people that matter to them. Because I have family friends who are French, and I talk to them through a translator. I write their parents and stuff. It's like you don't want to do that. You know why? Because the amount of effort required to learn a new language is not that monumental. You can reach a basic conversational level. How long did it take? It was amazing. You told me, you were like, Dave, you can converse in what was it, 3 months?
Yeah.
I was like, that's not fucking. But really, I was conversing within 3 months. It wasn't.
It's really. So to set the thing straight, it's really hard to actually get to like a really good conversational level in languages such as Chinese, Korean, and Japanese, and Arabic. This is a category 5 languages. It's extremely hard, but in 3 months, with 2 hours of studying, you can actually achieve like surprisingly good levels, so that you can start going on start basically having simple conversations. But the simple conversations part is the hardest. Once you start having simple conversations, after that 3 months, this is the most interesting part. The most interesting part starts after 3 months. This is okay. So
it's exponential. What's amazing about it, like it gets harder, but you end up moving faster.
yeah.
And each level unlocks new things. Like 2 years ago when I was here, I was studying like crazy every single day and stuff, but I only probably understood 20% of what people were saying. They were just speaking too fast, whatever. And the last 2 years are just learning in a different style, like a lot more listening, a lot less speaking, a lot less grammar and study and all this stuff. I just ended up coming back, and I'm surprised. I'm like, oh my God, like I can overhear people, I can understand everything that's going on, I have full contextual control. It's another level. And it's like, okay, now how do I learn? You can learn in the middle of a language. You can learn like in the middle of a conversation. I just learned a ton of words today. Zao Tang, you know, it's like we learned Zao Tang. We learned what was that one about the real men, real masculine thing? What did they say? 什么门？
大爷们儿。
大爷们儿，最大爷们儿 he said.
大爷们儿。
Are you sure about the 大爷们儿?
Almost.
Okay.
50-50.